Sometimes you'll end up with images that have not enough detail in the shadows. And here's a good example of that. Let's open up this raw file inside Camera Raw. Again, since it is a raw file, we can just double click and that will invoke the Camera Raw dialog here. And I want to open up those shadows to reveal the hidden detail. You can see the grass is really dark here. I don't see any detail in their jeans at all. I'm going to go ahead and grab the FillLight slider. So recovery is for getting highlight detail back. FillLight is for opening up the shadows and revealing shadow detail. Now again, this is a sample image where I'm really going to use the extreme range of FillLight. On a typical image, you wouldn't be dragging FillLight over to 100%. But again, I just want to show you the kind of the power of FillLight. Now, depending on how bad the shadow detail is or how dark your image is, you might also combine FillLight with the exposure slider, just like you might combine exposure with recovery, depending on what the problem of the image is. So since this image is too dark, I'm going to take the exposure slider and drag it to the right to make the overall image pop a little bit. And you can see now I've recovered fantastic detail in the shadows. Now, one thing to mention, I'm not going to address it in this particular video here, but one thing that can actually happen when you open up the shadows, either through a combination of the FillLight slider or with the exposure slider as well, is that you can reveal the color noise that was present inside the file as well. Because the image was originally so dark in these areas, though, you probably didn't notice the color noise pixels. There is a way to actually reduce or even eliminate the color noise. We'll switch to that in a different video. There's a detail tab here where you can actually reduce the color noise. But for now, just know that it's something to look out for. If you take the FillLight slider too far, you might end up revealing too much noise, even too much for Camera Raw to deal with, depending on the extremes there.